Hey Monis, what does it take to create a restaurant fiction episode?
First and foremost, Restaurant Fiction is an independent podcast. We do not have a team. When I say we, it's pretty much just me and our amazing producer and sound engineer, Chris J. Hudson. Other than that, it is a lot of work. A lot of mainstream podcasts out there have teams. And yeah, it is me. First and foremost, comes out with the idea. Had the idea way back, I believe in like 2013, 2015, and trial and error really formulated what the actual flow of it was and is. Okay, so after that, what is the next step? Is actually moving to Los Angeles. Why? Because it is still to this day the epicenter, the heartbeat of all things creative storytellers when it comes to TV and film. From that, we go to functions. We go to functions either by the union, by the directors union, the DGA, the WGA, the SAG, which is the actors union. We go to functions, Hollywood functions, networking functions. And because we're in LA in Southern California, sometimes we're actually just at the right place at the right time. I mean, we know good food, I'm just saying. And from my kitchen experience, still get some access to some cool tables or a one-of-a-kind resi. No, but anyway, from that, we mingle, we pitch Restaurant Fiction. Hey, you want to come on? Fictional restaurants, bars, and clubs, and TV and film? Hopefully, usually, the answer is yes. And if not, obviously, we're going and we're finding their email. We're finding their email, either asking them or on IMDb Pro, which highly recommend. And then we're watching their film. We're watching their film, the guest film. We're watching their TV show. And we actually take off our film critic hat. We take off our TV show critic hat. Even though the film and TV show are great, we're only reviewing the restaurant. We're only reviewing the bar. We're only reviewing the club. So in a way, this is awesome because even though this is a great film or TV show, yeah, it's all about the restaurant. We pick a date. And then we have to juggle that date more than once, and then we have to pick our location. Luckily, we have a friend. We use their space in Santa Monica overlooking Pacific Coast Highway, which is so idyllic. So grateful for that. And we record that. My great sound engineer and music supervisor and producer, Chris J. Hudson, and I, we actually hit record and we record an hour episode. Now our questions are actually usually it's about the fictional restaurant, bar, and club, but then it's about the storyteller's either creative process, whether they're a writer, it's the writing process, director directing, producing, etc. Then it's about actually editing the episode. You know, the episodes are usually 1 hour. I ask for 1 hour. Sometimes they go shorter, sometimes they go longer, and it's cutting that down. Usually I like to cut it down to about 10, 20, maybe 30 minutes tops. And it's listening, and it's editing, and finally, it's about putting it out there. I mean, it is a very simple thing, and it's about growing and finding then the audience, and hopefully with the audience, we are looking for, the creative storytellers and people who want to be inspired and educated and entertained, whether it be through fictional food, whether it be through TV and film, whether it be through just the creative storytelling process, or whether it be, hey, they just want to meet an amazing awesome person who is just doing their thing and doing it well in Los Angeles.
This is just a bonus question here. Where are some of the, I would say, more interesting places? Because you talk about being in the right place, kind of at the right time, making sure that you're in the place where the creatives are. Where are some of the more interesting places that you've met potential guests?
Some of the guests that we met at the Austin Film Festival, we went there once. We met some amazing guests. Another great way is actually Flavortown, that we do some digital content. I do some digital content. Restaurant Fiction does some digital content. for the Food Network occasionally, and after filming, I like to chill with all of the amazing chefs at the hotels, and we just talk about TV and film all the time. That's really what our conversation is. So we're just now adding food. And then we say, come on. We go to the unions. Every union in Los Angeles, whether it be the WGA or the DGA, have functions you can go to, and we meet them there, or book signings. Yeah, I mean, it really is that. It's putting, Stephen Pressfield once said, the amazing writer, he said, put your ass in the seat to where your heart wants to be, or something like that. I am paraphrasing, and that's exactly what we want to do. We want to be in that 30-mile zone, the TMZ, because we want to surround ourselves with these creative storytellers that we admire and want, we want to be a part of, or we want Restaurant Fiction to be a part of.
The flip. Ta-da!
Well, that's fucking perfect.
That came out amazing.
Damn!
What is that called?
This is a Spanish tortilla. So, especially, obviously, when you're at a sports bar in Spain, whether that be Barcelona or Seville or Madrid, or especially in Basque country like San Sebastian or Bilbao, usually a Spanish tortilla, it's a sports bar food. So you want to watch the football game and you're going to see the Spanish tortilla, and usually it's not going to be hot and fresh. This is actually not supposed to be eaten hot and fresh. It's probably sitting out for like 5-6 hours, and you get your beer, or you get your glass of wine, and you have a slice, and it is always, yeah, that's right, it doesn't matter what sports bar you go to, it is always going to be the best Spanish tortilla of your life. All it is, it's incredibly simple cooking. All it is just sweated down potatoes and onions and olive oil, then married with some amazing eggs. Then it is kind of like just a low and slow omelet, and then flipped, and then boom, there you have it. Obviously, we're going to be eating it very, very soon. It's going to be hot and fresh, but how I would like to actually sit it out for maybe overnight, and then put some garlic aioli on top, or some really awesome crunchy bread. The whole point of Restaurant Fiction is to really put an exclamation point on the importance of the fictional restaurant, bar, and club in TV and film. And I say that because when you make a TV short film, it goes through many heads, and what I mean is a lot of red tape. There is not only one person that has creative control, even if you say, oh, he and she has creative control. No. There are so many people. So it's like, hey, when you're watching something and a fictional restaurant, bar, and club actually makes the final cut, then it is important. There is a reason why it is in the film you're watching. There is a reason why it is in the TV series you're watching. Because if it wasn't important, it would have made the final cut many times over. I mean, there would be about 20 different drafts. I mean, there would be 20,000 different edits. It would go through many levels, whether it be at the agency level, the producer level, the actor level, the studio level, the network level, all different levels. And if it wasn't important, it would have just been cut at every one point of those levels. But you're watching it, I'm watching it, it made the final cut. So obviously it is important to the storytelling process. So what I want viewers to get is that the fictional restaurant, bar, and club is probably the most important part of the TV series or the film that you're watching. It is the most relatable and personable part of that work of art. It brings you in further. You get to explore the world. For example, in the first Alien, when we actually are introduced to the alien, it is in the mess hall when all of the astronauts are eating together, and then suddenly the alien pops out. It is a very personal moment, the eating experience. In Star Wars, if you take out the cantina, it's kind of a boring, literally a black and white movie. But when you go to the fictional bar and then suddenly there's jazz, like Benny Goodman, John Coltrane jazz and space and bounty hunters and all these different drinks, and people are drinking and getting drunk and killing each other, I'm like, hey, this is a world I could relate to. The fictional bar. I mean, obviously, the zeitgeist right now is all about the bear. Once again, a fictional restaurant. It's not just the uppity, the bear, but it's also the beef. Either one. I mean, if that wasn't important, obviously the whole show is about the restaurant, but still, if it wasn't, if it was just about the relationships outside of the restaurant, we would have never ever seen the restaurant. It doesn't matter if it is Brad Pitt just eating something in one of Quentin Tarantino's movies, or honestly, it is, an entire show or movie about food. It is important, and we want to explore this niche, and just like in Matrix and using that cliche, we want to take that red pill and truly, truly explore.